We're back once again Wednesday night. We're here for Smack Talk. It is going to go down. The weeks keep on rolling. We get closer to Christmas, and we've got the gift that keeps on giving. Brittany Diamond on the show, making her, recording first-time debut. Obviously, we had you on the show live at Stadium Swim and Circus Sports, and still jacked and jazzed to have you as a contributor and a member of this event. We're going to be bringing to you weekly. Really looking excited to you getting into the breakdown, more of the training aspects, the techniques, and really the things that, make this sport truly what it is, that can really impact and change potentially the outcome of these matches for some of these strikers, and really just to educate, the fans of the sport as well on more of the technical side of what is actually going on up there from a body mechanics standpoint. So, welcome to, the online edition. How excited are you to be part of this? And I mean, seeing the event there live, we haven't spoke to you since. Give me your first initial reaction of what it was like being at the event.
Thanks, Corey. Very excited to be here. So the Power Slap 10 event, you could not have hyped me up or warned me enough. The energy in there, I couldn't believe how many people were there, how many people were excited, how many people traveled in to be there. I felt so lucky because I got to talk to the athletes, the sponsors, the people just spectating, and it was my first time seeing it live. And I told you off air, and I will say it now, hands down to every single competitor who can stand up there, because I had thought about doing that sport. I now say I am not tough enough to take a slap like that. There were some very intense moments.
Absolutely. So what did you think you were signing up for then?
So, I had practiced the technique a little bit, and I was closing my eyes as a competitor thinking like, okay, if I don't win the coin toss and I have to get slapped first, like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to like black out, take myself to this place. But then just seeing how easy it was to foul and, have your heel strike up half an inch, and just like the technicalities, seeing it live versus on, before I'd only seen it on social media. So seeing just how easy it was to make a mistake. Like I said, I knew what I was signing up for, but just seeing the mental toughness to stand back up, to take a slap like that, and then seeing what some of these athletes looked like after. And I think the most shocking thing for me was that the athletes that got knocked out, they weren't just in pain, they were knocked out. Mm-hmm. And I've lost conscious a couple times in my life, mostly snowboarding. And it's not the funnest thing, I'd say, but I think my all-time favorite thing about the event was that no matter what happened to any of these athletes or competitors, they were smiling even after getting knocked out, after losing a match. Obviously, if they won, their energy was electric. They were so happy to be there, and they were really there for their fans. So humble yet hungry is the kind of the vibe I got from being able to interview the athletes and talk to them and get to know them. And even some of their family members, I was really trying, where it's such a new sport, I was really trying to gain a sense of community and see, where people were from. So all walks of life, from all over, they flew in, some had family members, and just hearing about, I was talking to a lot of the moms. So I love to get a mom's perspective of, okay, how do you feel that your son or daughter is about to get slapped in the face? So it was really unique to hear that perspective, and hats off to any combat sport, but especially the ones that can take a slap.
Yeah, absolutely. Ding, would you let your son become the next great generational slap fighter?
Oh, that's I want to choose my words carefully here. No.
Short and sweet, isn't he?
Even like, it was funny. I was all excited that I got this opportunity from you, Corey, and my mom called me right away. She's like, "Wait, you're not getting slapped, are you?" And I was like, No, Mom, I'm media. So she's like, "Oh, thank God."
Absolutely. But let's transition right into another guy who gets slapped for a living, Mr. Branden Bordeaux. How you doing?
What's up, guys?
Hey, and girl.
Yeah, and girl. Sorry, my bad. How are you?
Another day, no other dollars, man. We're low. We're running low. How are you? Is probably a better question.
I'm doing good. I feel great. I'm in good. I mean, obviously things didn't go exactly how you have them planned, but I'm in good spirits. Healthy, good, great. Usually my last matches usually I have a black eye or my last one my orbital was cracked a little bit, but this one nothing. No, I was good to go. You know what I mean? Right, as soon as we walked off the stage, I could have turned around and done another one.
Yeah. So I mean, what is it? 12 days removed.
Yeah, something like that.
What has changed for you since that day? I mean, you walk into that day, you have full belief in yourself. You go up there, you show the world. What has changed for you across the board? Whether that's what you feel like is the perception from the fans, whether that feels like the confidence that you now have. Like, talk to us actually about everything that you feel like is different from 12 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, it'd obviously be a lot better if I had the title sitting here with me, but it's just I come out of things, more confident in than what I was. I went into things confident, you know what I mean? But to get up there and to perform like that, it gives you, good confidence, going back into things. So, it's just, like I said, it was kind of shitty how things ended, and it'll be nice to run this back and get him back. But, like you said, it's been 12 days since we got home. I've just been, I got right back in the gym on Monday when we come home. So I was right back in the gym last week. And, this week I actually hired a new trainer. So we're going to do a lot more workout stuff, like specifically based around power slap. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to get to work with him. Like I said, we started this week. And so I'm excited to see how things go. We got a little while until March is coming up. So, I got plenty of time to keep getting better. Like I said, I've gotten better, significantly better in between all of my matches. And, now I've got a lot of time to prepare for this one. So, like I had said the other day, you think I had gotten vastly improved between my last matches? Watch this.
Brittany, go ahead. I'm sorry. I think I cut you off. Yeah, go ahead. Brittany, you're good.
Oh, no, I was just saying I love the confidence.
Oh, okay, perfect. Branden, I'm curious. I know you guys were friends. It seems like you still are friends. Has your relationship with Isaiah changed since the event? I mean, I think now there's a little bit more to your relationship, being that you've competed. There's an asterisk behind that ending, right? You now are even more confident than I think you probably were already before. He now in his head is like, oh man, this guy kind of found the chink in my armor, if you will, or as he called it, he found my chin or found my button, excuse me, faster than anybody else has. Where does your relationship stand as we sit here today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a salty person or anything, so I would never hold anything personally against Isaiah for beating me or whatever it may be or how things ended. It didn't end because of his mistake or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I have no ill will towards Isaiah, but however, he still has everything that I'm working for and everything that I want. So he's got a target right over his face, and like I said, I plan to come into this rematch, and I'm going to put him out this time. And that's the thing is when I said that before going into this last match, people looked at me and they're like, yeah, okay, you ain't putting Isaiah out. Nobody's been able to rock him, this, that, and everything else. And now I think people's opinions have changed a little bit. And Isaiah himself, you could see it in his eyes after that first shot I hit him, and the first one wasn't as good as the second one. You could kind of see in his eyes, he knew, him and I know what happened up there. He knows what he felt up there. I know what I felt, and Isaiah got me with a perfect shot. He did, and that same shot that he got me with is the same shot that he's put these other people completely unconscious with. I popped up to my feet, probably a little too fast. There's just kind of an instinct thing, and especially when I haven't been rocked, I haven't been dropped, you know what I mean? So when that all happens, it all happens so damn fast that, it's so fast, it's so loud. Next thing you know what I mean? Like I remember impact, and then I remember seeing my feet and looking up at Herzog, giving him, 2 thumbs up, and I looked right over at, you can also see in the video too, I looked right over at one of the catchers, and then Herzog told me to walk towards him, and my legs were obviously still a little bit heavier. My foot caught the mat, and when my foot caught the mat, I gave just that tiny little stumble there. And the ironic thing about it actually is, a few weeks ago, I was kind of giving Isaiah shit about his match with Russell. right? And the whole how his foot catches the mat and he kind of stumbles. And I had even told Isaih himself. I said, well, nowadays they would never stop that. And then sure shit enough at our match,
Oh no.
and then it happens like the same damn way. So it is what it is. I mean, like things are new, and Herzog thought I was a little more rocked than what I really was. And I've heard people also say about taking a knee, and I prepared myself in my head. I told myself, I told myself in the back, I tell myself, in all kinds of preparation, that if or when it did happen, that you get knocked down, to take the knee. But like I said, all that shit happens so fast that the last thing that's really thinking in your mind is, oh, okay, hang on, let me take this knee real quick, and it all happens so fast. And Isaih did take the knee, but here's the thing: if you go back and watch the video, I think Isaih accidentally took the knee, because he goes to get up. You can see him; he goes to get up, and he goes to get up the same way every time, and he kind of falls back down. He falls to his knee, and then he kind of holds himself there and waits. So, I mean, ultimately, those couple extra seconds to him staying down paid off, and so, that's something that I'll do what I can to work through that. If or when that situation ever happens again, I'll be prepared for it. And, like I said, I'm excited to get it back. It was fun. I was having fun. I was having a good time, from the walkout to being up there, like I felt good, the energy in the place. I mean, everything was going good until it wasn't. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to go in there and get it back. And, I plan to put him out this time. And I've said, we all know this. You want to keep the judges out of it. You want to keep the refs out of it. And the best way to do that, especially when you're the challenger going against a champion, the best possible thing that you can do is just put them out cold. That, what I mean? Nothing, no more to it. Keep the judges out of it. Keep the ref out of it. Put them out, and that'll be it.
Brittany, anything you want to ask?
Yeah, what I wanted to ask is, so I know you said you're working with a new trainer, and
Yep.
I love your confidence. I really do. That's something you have to have in any type of combat sport. So what every day, when you're training now, you're getting ready for March, you have several weeks to get ready for that. Do you have what motivates you to want to come back? Do you have a saying, or do you have a picture, or walk us through that? As a competitor myself, I can't relate to a combat sport. So I'm just trying to put myself in your head.
So what makes me want to come back for the rematch?
Yeah. What drives you? What motivates you?
Well, the biggest thing, and coming into this, my biggest goal was to be world champion. So number one, it's the title, and it's being world champion. That's the number one thing that, and then, I mean, it goes down as far as my family. I've got 4 little ones at home. So, they're constantly watching. I coach sports year round back here at home. So I've got, tons of younger kids who are looking up to me, and, it's great to coach, and you coach, and you're speaking the words to them, and you're telling them how to prepare and everything. And it's nice with me being involved in this. Not only can I speak the words to the kids, now the kids can actually watch how I prepare and watch how I compete. Now they're not only hearing my words, but they're watching my actions as well. So, it's really important for me to, I hold myself to a high standard. You know what I mean? I try to be extremely professional about everything, but I also have a lot of younger generation kids that are looking up to me and watching how I follow things. And there's a lot of older generation people too that are, their eyes are on me and watching me. And I want to make sure that I set the right example for all of that. And, like I said, I set out the goal to be a world champion. And one of the biggest driving, motivating factors is being able to win that title and bring it home to my kids. I want to be able to bring it home to my kids. I want to see that smile on their face. I want to be able to take the pictures with them, enjoy that moment, and enjoy that moment with my family and friends and fans and everybody who's out there. So, I know it's going to happen. I've manifested this for a long time. Like I said, I'm extremely confident going into the rematch. We know what happened up there. I know what I felt up there, and I'm extremely confident coming into this. And I'm telling you, I'm going to knock him out in a rematch.
That's the kind of energy you got to have.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Branden. Let's just say they decide not to do the rematch. Where do you go from there?
The rematch. Nothing else makes sense. I don't want to get too in depth into things, but the rematch is happening. but outside of that, there's nothing else right there. You know what I mean? Azael announced that he's going down to 170. I think it's pretty damn clear cut that me and Isaih are the top two guys in this division. You know, John's still sitting there out of respect for him being a former champion, but you know, we're the top two guys in this division, and we've got to get this. We've got to get this settled. And my plan, and I'm going to put this out here right now. Like I said, I'm going to go into this rematch. I plan on knocking him out in the rematch. That's just going to create the story even more. Would have been a big deal if I would have went in there and knocked him out in this first one? Absolutely. But now with the story and how this is all unfolded, knocking him out in a rematch is even bigger. Okay. So now I knock him out in the rematch. Now we're going to do a trilogy. So you take him and we go coach season 4 of the show together, put that story together, and then we'll go finish off the trilogy after that. So putting this stuff out there, manifesting these type of things, you know, I firmly believe in manifestation. You know, I've done a lot of that. We've heard Dana talk about a lot of that. You hear a lot of athletes talk about a lot of that. So, you know, that like I said, that's my plans right now. We're going to go into this rematch. We'll take Isaih out. Let's go in and coach season 4 of the show. We'll run the trilogy after that.
I hear you. I'm not going to use it as an excuse for you, but I'm going to use it as a way to parallel into the next point that I want to talk about is more the business side of Power Slap. I know you took approximately 17 days notice. And so I'm not making an excuse for you in the outcome of the match. But what I want to bring it back to is that you took a very unique approach in regards to how you were acquiring sponsorship. And so a lot of people don't, know or realize, obviously, or, maybe it's obvious, but I'll just state it that, an athlete in the premise of, the UFC / Power Slap can't have any external logos, on their fight kit or whatever. They have to wear the officially given attire by Power Slap. But you seem to be able to buck a trend that a lot of strikers couldn't in the past. And that was to be able to acquire sponsorship, both locally as well as nationally, to get behind you on short notice for this match. And seemingly since that match, you've still been able to retain them and you're still promoting those brands. I would assume leading into your next match. So talk a little bit about that, the psychology and really what you're doing. I mean, and one, if you can either help other strikers do the same, I'm sure that would be of great value for them watching this as well.
Yeah, so I actually have had a conversation with a couple of the newer guys about some of this stuff, because when I was coming in, I know a lot of the sponsorship stuff from the MMA game and all that. You know what I mean? There wasn't like a whole lot of the guys doing it as I was coming in off season 2 and stuff. So I knew how things went, and my first couple matches, I waited until I kind of built up, a little bit of a name, a bit of a platform. You know what I mean? Something to offer to these other businesses when you go out and you're asking for sponsorships and stuff. You don't want to just go in there with nothing to offer to them, right? And just asking for things. So, yeah, I mean, shout out to all my sponsorships here back home. I have a lot of support. I've had a lot of people, backing me and following me along through things. And, I do have a marketing agent who goes out and gets some, like the old school energy drink sponsorship. Reese went out and got that deal and everything. So that was really good. And then my local sponsorships here at home, I just take care of. And like I said, I am blessed and I'm extremely fortunate to have the support and everything that I do. And, for everybody to have my back the way that they have. And, like I said, I don't think enough of these guys take advantage of trying to go out and get sponsorships and stuff. Dana told us this, and I'll remember this for the rest of my life. When he first seen us on season 2, we all walked in, you know what I mean? And one of the biggest things Dana said was, your lives are about to change and you don't even realize it. Use this to build yourself a brand and build a platform, and then use this on the outside to benefit yourself. You know what I mean? And I took that to heart immediately. I mean, myself and my brother, we own a small business together. So I don't know if it's the, business mind in me or what, but you know what I mean? I instantly was like, okay, I want to build a brand. I want to build a platform. I want to get that backing behind myself. And then I want to go out to these businesses and offer to do a sponsorship with them and use my brand and my platform to advertise their business, their brand, and their platform. So it's like I said, it's been a great thing, and I'm extremely fortunate and blessed to have the sponsorships that I do. And I got a lot of support, and thank you to all my sponsors from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. When the fight comes up, like you said, at 17 days notice, you know what I mean? I had 12 to 14 sponsorships within a couple days. So and leading into this next one where I'm going to get ready to finishing up what I got going on with the sponsors that I got now, and then I'm going to re-up everything for for the next fight. So, yeah, like I said, I think, if there's younger guys watching, or even if you're not really younger guys, you're one of the OGs and you still haven't went out, you haven't done something like that. If anybody needs advice, there's a couple guys I can tell you. I have talked to, a few different guys about the sponsorship stuff. And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I'd be more than willing to let people know how I do things and how I go about things. I'm more than willing to help everybody.
Yeah. Awesome, man. One last one for me. I'll go about it vaguely and tell me, I don't know if it's public knowledge or not, but you will be at Power Slap 11 in some capacity. Can you give any reassurance to it? I'm not sure if you publicly announced it or not, so I'll let you go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I just, I'll be in Saudi. I'm coaching. Coach Butcher will be in Saudi.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, thanks for
which I'm extremely excited about. I like I said earlier, I coach sports year round. I've coached sports actually since I graduated high school, and in a lot of aspects, I actually firmly believe that I'm a better coach than what I am an athlete. And I think that also transpires into, like, we've talked a lot about the film study and stuff like that, and how I can pick things apart and I see things from a different, from a different eye. And I think it's because of a coaching background, the coaching aspect, how I see things and how I'm able to pick things apart. And I've been able to use that to my advantage coming into these matches. And I did the same thing with Isaiah. And I've already been studying more film, and I've been studying our match over and over again.
Yeah,
awesome,
you
man.
Definitely, in my opinion, seem like a coach. As soon as you said, you had 4 kids, you're manifesting. I can feel that coaching energy. It's all positive, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see where you go, especially with the new trainer and the technical side. So I'll be watching your training. So I'm excited. So
thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm super excited because I'm going to keep holding your guys' time up. But a lot of my training stuff, I've done a lot of it out of my own, and I was doing more of a bodybuilding split, kind of thing, which has worked out for me. I've gotten bigger, I've gotten stronger and stuff. But I've gotten with this trainer, we're really doing a lot more things specifically based around power slap, and we'll be going through a whole striking camp and everything too. So I fully expect myself to be actually much, much, much better in this match than I have been in any of my other ones.
Honing in on the craft. I can't wait to ask you more questions about training and pick your brain. So thank you.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Till next time, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Branden Bordeaux, always informative, cutting edge in certain ways. Obviously coming in with that sponsorship, I think is great. Look forward to it. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense, him and Isaiah running it back, but you always got to play devil's advocate and say, what if, what else? John Davis is sitting out there, as he kind of alluded to. If we had more time, I'd ask him, hey, would you take that fight with John Davis if they presented it to you? But I definitely don't fault him one way or the other. That he's got a plan A. That's Isaih Quinones. Doesn't want to talk anything other than that. For him, feels like that's the script that's written for him in his destiny. So we'll just keep on rolling with that one. He touched on a little bit earlier with Azael, El Perro Rodriguez, kind of switching it up. When we spoke to Isaiah last week, he was kind of, he knew some backside information, but it wasn't really made public. And, we covered it for you guys there on Slap News. Azael obviously dropping down to 170. He's going to go down to make, his mark in that particular division. Let's bring him in the show, Ding, and get to see what was, the backstory and the mindset to getting into it. Azael.
What's up? How's it going?
Really good. How did 170 come about, and why is it the right path for you?
So 170 was already in the books since the beginning of Power Slap for me, and it just happened that 185 was was going well for me, so it was kind of delaying that. 185 is my baby. That's my division right there. 9 matches. I've only lost to one person. So I talked to Frank, and he directly asked me to think about going down to 170s. And I was like, okay, this is probably the calling that I needed. Why am I going to delay it any further? Let's just go for it. It was obvious that they weren't going to give me the title match anytime soon. So I was like, why not just do something else that's going to excite the sport and just kind of continue my legacy in Power Slap. So I decided to say yes. As soon as he asked me about it, I said, hey, I'm gonna go down to 170 right away. So I started the cut right away. That's been in the works for like the last 2 months. So we're ready, man.
Awesome. I mean, dropping down, you kind of touched on, the amount of experience you have at that 185. Are you ready for someone in the top 5? Do you think that's where they give you a match, or do you kind of see a tuner somewhere in the range of 5 through 10?
Nah, no tuner, man. Fucking, I've been having so many fucking tuners since the beginning, man. I think after I lost to John Davis 1, every fucking tuner I've like fucking either knocked out or I've like fucking like hurt them. So I don't think a tuner match would make sense for me. I think like they gave Butcher the championship title match, and I just beat the guy that Butcher faced twice. He barely beat once, draw the second time, and I beat him with ease. So I think I've already proven myself that there's no need for me to get any tuner matches. Give me that title match. Don't give me Manny 2. Don't give me Manny the rematch. Don't give me Wesley because I know he's going down. Give me fucking Blackburn, and then we could talk about these other guys.
Awesome, man. Great to hear. One last one before I throw it over to Brittany. I got to tell you, you're moving up in the world, my man. First time I talked to you, you got terrible internet in San Diego. Next time I talk to you, you're in some Caribbean island looking like you're living in a hut. Now look at your background, my man. You look like you're in a skyscraper. You got a beautiful background. You got white trim. Life's been good to you, hasn't it?
Life's been good, man. I just moved to downtown San Diego, so it's been good. I literally moved like this past weekend, so I had to move back from the island not too long ago, so I had to come back to something nice, man. I left my wife out there. She's back now. She's on vacation right now, but I had to come back to something good and have something for her to come back to too. So life's treating me good.
Awesome, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
We appreciate you got better connectivity now. You're not out in the sticks anymore.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely, man.
Brittany.
Sorry, I don't know what just happened. It's my first time. You're moving up in the world in your new apartment in San Diego, and this is my new studio, and one of the cameras just failed. But anyways, what I wanted to ask you is I love talking to people that do weight cuts. So you walk, we've been in the sport. Do you walk comfortably right around 185 all the time? Do you follow a diet? What does that look like?
So for the 185s, I was walking around 190 to 205. For my last few matches, I was walking around 205. I look bad though. Like I don't think the bulking does good to me. Like it all goes into my stomach. But for now, I'm trying to for the 170, I'm trying to walk around 177 to 180. I'm at 180 right now, so I'm probably gonna go down to 175 just to like kind of get the feel of that new weight for me. So yeah, I don't like to cut too much. Usually when I do fight, I give myself about 2 months to make that cut. So from 205 to 185, I take about 2 months, a little bit over to kind of cut that down, and then I arrive to Vegas maybe like 2 pounds to 3 pounds above, and I just make that little quick cut with the water weight.
Okay, so you do it mainly through diet, and then you do the last bit in water cut because. So right now, you said you're walking around 180.
Yeah, I just weighed at 180 this morning, so I've been averaging 180 to 183. So I think my body's still like in that period where it's like adjusting itself, and then I think in the next couple of weeks I'll probably be in the 170s, like probably 177.
Yeah, that's so you took the cut that you did in Vegas and then just kind of rolled with it, continued to diet and stay with that.
Yeah.
How do you feel strength wise? Because that's a big walking around 205 to 170.
Yeah, no. I know in the past AJ had one of the other competitors, AJ went down and he said, "Oh, I feel so strong, blah blah blah." I feel fucking strong. Like I'm making sure that I'm not. I do a lot of weightlifting and boxing, so I make sure that my weight, my numbers are up there and they're not decreasing, and if anything, they're increasing too. So my benching, my squatting, everything, I make sure that I'm still putting in that work in the gym. So my wife holds the pad for me. One of my other best friends holds the pad for me, and honestly, I think that flexibility, like, I don't know, I think I've been getting a little bit more flexible and just more comfortable with my weight, and I think it's just generating more power.
That's
exciting. But I feel great.
So
I don't feel weak at all.
Because I was a little worried about that when you have an athlete that, that's a pretty significant percentage of the total body weight to go down. So is your plan just to, for your next fight, get to that weight and stay there, or do you think you'll still have to water cut a little bit?
No, I think by the time I have a match, I think I'd be maybe at 170. I'll probably get wherever the match is, I'll get there like at 173 and probably do the water cut like for that extra few pounds, or maybe even get to Vegas at 170. I don't know yet. Usually it just depends on that week, but I tend to not cut so much. I think 2 to 3 pounds would be the max that I would have to cut.
I agree with that, because I was when I was talking to other athletes in the sport, like, I can't believe anyone would want to cut more than 3 to 4 pounds of water weight, just because of the nature. It's a combat sport. You're getting slapped in the face. And if you already are coming in a deficit in a cut, that's going to mess you up a little bit more when you get rocked.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I definitely I do a lot of my dieting and just make sure that I do my cardio and all that stuff to be able to just make that cut as healthy as possible. I don't
Love
like
to hear it. Good.
I don't like messing around with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a tough sport, so I'm glad to hear that.
Azael, my brother, always great to talk to you, man. I want to take it back to when we first met, man. You talked a lot about in the beginning, kind of one of your goals, one of your bigger goals was to sort of achieve some level of, fame. And I don't want to say that in a bad way or anything, but like the celebrity aspects of this, you wanted to reap the benefits of the public, the public perception, the image, right? People being able to see you. I was looking at your Instagram. First of all, your numbers are insane, right? So I'll start there. But secondly, you over 10,000 followers. So it seems like you're moving in the direction of what you originally set out to do. For your peers, some of the guys who maybe had trouble getting those followers and getting videos that really hit, what are you doing differently that's really making it resonate with the consumer base, particularly on Instagram?
I think I was in the beginning, I was kind of leaving it in the hands of, or I thought leaving it in the hands of Power Slap was the way to go. I thought, hey, like, they're going to be posting me, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you've seen the whatever I've been posting lately just shows what Power Slap is lacking in El Perro. Like, I don't think they've given me enough on that platform to be able to. There you go. That's cool. What is that? So the way I saw, what is that?
The Dapper Dash Hound.
Oh, that's cool. So the way I saw it was like, hey, why not just start posting myself a little bit more to kind of show that I fucking get views. I do get there's people out there that don't know me yet. So I just started posting the same. You've seen I've been posting the same matches because I know that they're getting the hits, and some of the ones that from the beginning of my career I started posting, and because I knew that they were going to hit. And you've seen what it did. I think I've gotten like 4,000 new followers in the last like month. I think this month I've like increased by like 3,500, which is not so much, but every fucking time that I close,
I don't know who told you that. That is
don't say that.
Is it? I don't know.
I mean, when you're Brittany Diamond, you got like 100 million, is whatever.
I know.
The rest of
my team a lot to other people. So, but it's cool because I close my app and then literally like 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, I get like 30 new followers, like the notification. I'm like, what the hell? So I think just for my peers, for the other power slappers that are trying to get bigger, just if you have matches that you think are gonna fucking hit, if you have that entertainment aspect in yourself, just post your matches, keep posting them, have good fucking captions on them, good hashtags, and maybe use some good audio on it, and I think it'll hit. But I think just El Perro is just a big one. I think it's hard to beat El Perro. I don't think there's much, and like there's a lot of the power slappers out there that are pretty entertaining, but El Perro is up there, and I think he's just been slept on. So I just took all that and just started posting more.
So make sure, everyone watching better be following you, right? So make sure you tell them your handle.
Follow me, Azael El Perro Rodriguez.
Yeah, man, I'm curious. I know one of the things that I know you and I spoke about it at some point in time. It was kind of something that was celebrated at that point, right? Rey Mysterio follows you, right? You guys share the Mexican heritage. Obviously, Rey Mysterio is a mark in the WWE industry, a legend, a guy who's been around for a long time. Now his son is also in the WWE. Now he's attending Power Slap events. He's in the mobile game. Like, first of all, have you met him? And then second of all, like, what is all that like for you?
Yeah, I've met Rey Mysterio a couple of times. It's funny because I know his niece on a personal level. So she introduced me to Rey Mysterio when we were like 12 years old. And that was when like I was I'm still a big fan, but I never expected it to get to the point where we're sharing kind of like similar platforms and he's there supporting me. Like when I was a kid, I never expected that to happen. So I don't see him as someone just like, oh, I know your niece. I just see him as like a role model, an idol. So it's great, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's in the mobile game. I think that all of those things are very intriguing and interesting, and it's been great to see your evolution. Like you said, what you're doing is paying off, and I think it also sets off a domino effect and helps illustrate to other athletes what they can do. Like you said, I think probably most people, assume that you're going to get the exposure on Power Slap. They're going to collaborate you and all these other things. And it just doesn't happen because there's so many clips that have to go out. Then they have to try to figure out what's kind of trending at any given time. It's just so difficult for people. I think people who are following the page are really just accustomed to this like instant gratification if I get to see a strike. I think sometimes they don't really care,
I think what motivated me was that I had a conversation with Frank, this Power Slap 10, and he kind of pulled up numbers, and he's like, your matches are not even in the top 20 or whatever of views. And I was like, well, yeah, because the amount of exposure I've gotten from Power Slap is very minimal. And it's like, I get one post and maybe it didn't do well, but it's a post that I think if they do what they've done with other strikers, I know it's going to get the views. And I was like, I left that meeting with, I'm going to fucking show you. So hence, as soon as I left that meeting, you're seeing, I got millions of views now on my fucking videos. Like I texted him too. I was like, I didn't just come up to you just because. I'm not just like reaching out because like, I don't want to seem like a beggar. Like I know what I bring to the table. And when I left that meeting, it's just you're seeing what you're seeing on my Instagram now is because of that meeting.
I think that's a good life lesson for everyone to hear because, you can have, just like being an athlete, you can have the best coach, you can do that, but no one else is going to do that work for you. So you have to take it into your own hands. Like you said, you have a voice. You want to grow this sport. You want people to see your matches. So I view it as it is your responsibility to grow the sport. And how are you going to do that? Your own social media. And I before this was just on everyone's just to make sure that I can get a sense of your energy and I can tell you love it. Seem really fun. And then, use this momentum going into this weight cut, educate the other people in the sport about what it's going to take, what your day-to-day looks like. And I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Well, man, always great to talk to you. Really, really happy. I also glad that you were able to finally publicly announce again. It's something that's been circling for a while, right? A lot of speculation. You were being kept out of some conversations. We were trying to figure out how to navigate knowing what we knew without saying anything. So I'm glad it's out in the public. I do agree with you. I think you deserve the creme de la creme at 170 pounds. I'm excited to see what the decision is, whether, if that's going to be the champion Anthony Blackburn or maybe your good buddy KO Chris would be a fun one. Although not the belt, it's a former champion. I think that it still would be an interesting match. But like I said, always great to talk to you, man. Congratulations on the spot in downtown San Diego. Like Corey said, moving on up. And you know that you are always welcome here at Slap News, my brother.
Thank you guys all the time for your guys' platform. Thank you, Brittany, for being here and meeting you. And I look forward to to what's next for me and for you guys, and seeing you guys out there.
Thank you.
Much
Good
love,
luck
brother.
with the
Take
cut. I'll be watching.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
All right. Closing out the show with the heavyweight champion of the world who just recently defended his title 12 days ago against Dorian Perez. None other than the unringable. Uh-oh. I said that so loud it rang my camera. The unringable Damian DeBell.
What's going on, man?
There he is, champ. 12 days out. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling already ready to go back in there. A little disappointed with how that match turned out last time, so I'm ready to go back and earn it back.
Oh. I think we lost Ding. We lost the
I'm
voice.
here. No, I'm here. Sorry. Everything's going wrong because the bell came in and rang my whole setup. But
You're flustered, man. He rang your bell all the way from Tampa.
That's impressive.
Pull your pants up, buddy. Pull your pants
up. What I was asking was, you say you're disappointed in that performance. What about that disappointed you?
Not really disappointed in it. Just I know I could have done better, and Dorian was a great competitor. Don't want to take that from him. I definitely think I could have done better in that fight. I got it clubbing in the 4th round. That's usually not how I operate. I don't like the penalties, so I could have been cleaner that fight. Could have just performed better overall.
What was different about Dorian in comparison to, say, a Ryan Phillips, another guy who we thought had he does have a ton of power, but a guy that was touted as maybe could potentially be the one, a Nate Bernard, right? What was different about Dorian, be it his power, his technique, the way that he hit you? He did get 2 clubs called towards the middle of the fight, but by the time round 4 was wrapping up, he already had a 2nd club. What elements of that do you feel like really changed things?
Just he has a tough chin. He was able to eat all the slaps. No one else is being able to do that in a full match. So that definitely he had that going for him, and his power was definitely there. He was out there performing well that night. I don't know what that chart is.
This is your scorecard, man.
Oh,
you rarely ever see one, so I understand why you don't know what it is. But
it was also on my phone, so I could just barely see what was going on.
Yeah. So Dorian Perez did a round 1 and round 4 club. You also clubbed in round 4. Do you think the club had anything to do with the just kind of how many times you had gotten hit at that point? 2 clubs. Do you think maybe that kind of pushed you off your game? Because you are, like you alluded to, you are a very clean striker. You're known for your precision.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Dorian's game, but I feel like that first club really affected me. But I just need to be better at receiving those kinds of hits and be prepared for that. Can't have no excuses like a club affected my game.
Awesome, Cor.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The scorecards they gave, they gave Dorian round 3 and round 5. If I read that correctly. Can you talk to me about that attrition? Because we've seen you be so dominant in the sport the entire time, the deepest we ever see you go. Can you talk about just accumulating those blows over and over? And do you feel like it got to you at all later in the championship rounds?
No, I've gone further in previous events. I've always wanted someone that I could go the full 5 rounds with. Honestly, it was just more exciting to be able to do that with Dorian. Go into those championship rounds and really put on a show for everybody. It was just a great opportunity. I wasn't disappointed in that aspect of the fight at all.
Gotcha. You talked about a little bit earlier about committing that foul, something that we haven't seen from you, in power slap. I always think that the way you receive a strike, especially I've watched your match back a couple of times now, and are you a little sick and twisted in the head a bit? Do you enjoy being hit? Because you kind of just a little crink of the neck. How does it feel? Kind of smile. Talk to me about that technique, because obviously you weren't in a position that you ever going to go down. It looked like you're always in control. But talk to me about kind of the expression that you show after receiving a strike.
I feel like you can't do this sport without enjoying it just a little bit. It's what you sign up for. It's half of the game plan every time you go out there. And me and Dorian, we're honestly cut from the same cloth. I I enjoy the fuck out of this sport. I absolutely love it. So, being up there and taking those hits and being able to show out that I have a chin, I can recover from strong hits. I honestly thrive off of it. Really, helps build some pride that I got to show off that aspect of my game as well.
Absolutely. Brittany, the champ.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking to Corey about this because I had thought about doing the sport. I'm very glad to be on this side of the house, getting to interview champions and hearing about everything. How do you mentally, right before you go on, you're hyped up, Vegas is huge, excited to be there, knowing you're gonna take a hit, and like Corey said, like you seem to enjoy it. Is there like an athlete process that you go through to make sure? Because you just gave me like a very calm vibe, honestly, just watching you like chill up there. Like, is there something you go through in your head? I just want to try to understand.
No, not for me. And I can't speak for every other fighter, but for me, it's just I listen to my music while I'm back there because there really ain't nothing else to do. Just kind of hang out, watch the other fights, watch the rest of the event, and enjoy yourself. You gotta watch the other fights and enjoy the event as it's going on before you go out there. Get yourself ready for what you're going to be doing. But it's really nothing special. Being in the right mindset. It's just who you are when you are out there.
So when you're listening to music and stuff, though, are you more getting like amped, like giving yourself an adrenaline rush? Or are you trying to stay pretty mellow? Because you seem mellow to me.
Yeah, I'm usually a pretty mellow guy, so I'm just chilling, listening to music. I'm not really building adrenaline until I hit that stage. And honestly, the adrenaline is going to come when you get hit for the first time. So
Naturally.
there ain't no need for it to build it up until you take that first hit, because it's going, as soon as you get hit, it's going to activate.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Like you had said initially, you can do better. Moving forward now, it's been 12 days. What have you done to look back at that match and know you're going to improve going forward for your next fight?
Honestly, the biggest thing is probably just working on my defense. I've never really worked on my defense at all since I've started. Probably going to change that up, now that there's actually guys out there that could put up a good fight. I want to be ready for that and ready to go the distance again.
Awesome. So yeah, that's cool to hear that you've never worked on that. And so kind of seems like you're a force to be reckoned with if that's a huge aspect of the sport and you haven't worked on it. So that's going to be exciting to see how you evolve with this new defense.
Probably should have been, but
yeah, that's what I would have thought, right? But hey, at least you can admit it.
No, I admit when I was fucking up. I wasn't working on that at all, but go and buy myself an iron neck or something. Start training for that.
Oh, I see what you did there. Buy yourself an iron neck to take on the iron chin. I got it.
Hey,
some premonition there.
I'm giving you the pages.
a couple, I guess more lighthearted ones. Originally you had aspirations too, and I'm not saying you still don't. That's really my question. To attend law school, where are you at with that? Where does it stand today? I know Power Side was sort of a way to sort of gain some capital so that you could kind of fund that, and then you plan to walk away. Where are those plans at as we sit here today?
Right now, actually, that's why I've been so busy. Not really posting on socials after my fight. We're kind of in the process of looking for a new place, trying to find a house to move into for when I do go to law school, trying to just have a year of residency so I could get in-state tuition. So we're working on deciding where we want to live for, the next coming decade or so.
Now, let me ask you this. When you're sitting in a courtroom and the attorney across the aisle, whether that be a prosecutor, defender, depending on which side you decide to sit on, is like, Your Honor, this guy's been hit in the head more times than a professional athlete. We can't trust him. Have you prepared yourself for what you're going to say and respond to that?
I honestly, since day one, already know that it could go against me. So I just want to prove, my academic abilities, especially with my LSAT score. That's why I've been taking it very seriously, studying for that. Because, that's the first step in the long career of, going to law school and being a lawyer. So I want to start from step one, showing that I am able to go down this path. And it is truly something I want to pursue.
All right, now listen, man, you are the champion and you've made some good money in your career so far. but we haven't shook the black Air Forces. I gotta know, is there something that we can do? Can we get you some slap news black Air Forces? Like, is there something that we can do to get maybe a new pair or just something to get some flavor in there? Because you are the champion, you're headlining events, man. You're styling and profiling. You bought a Mustang. You're getting a hot. I mean, come on, man. We can talk about it. We here. We
The
got
black
your
Air
back.
Forces are so universal, though. Dress events, casual events, you fighting somebody, you shopping with somebody. They just work. I could wear them casually to the after party just after whooping somebody's ass. And I also think it's pretty cool that all of my fights have been the same pair of black Air Forces too. I've fought every single event in those same shoes.
One
My
day you're going to
lucky
be
pair.
selling them for big money. Iconic,
Oh,
the
yeah.
iconic Air Forces.
Yeah, in anticipation of that, please, if you would, foot powder, just help out the buyer, the future buyer.
I got you. I'll make sure they get a little air freshening going on first.
You going to wear them when you take the LSTAT for good luck?
Oh, for sure.
Good,
Oh,
good.
for sure. Those are my shoes. I wear them to do shit.
Good.
If I'm about to
I
get
love
up
it.
into some shit, I wear them shoes.
I
Do you
won't
have-
hate on them though. It's funny because at the first event, like I heard someone say that and I was like, is that an inside joke? I don't get it. And then I looked and I was like, oh yeah, those must be his favorite pair of shoes.
Yeah, he's never worn anything else up there. Do you have multiple pairs, or is that I mean, it looks like the same ones.
Oh no, those are the same ones. I have multiple pairs of shoes. I wear other shoes, when I'm at home, but those
Oh,
are my
really?
boots.
So you don't sleep in black Air Forces?
No.
All right, just making sure.
I mean, I bathe in black Air Force, but I don't sleep in them. That's weird. No, I have black Air Force slides that I sleep in.
Bro, that'd be amazing if you actually did like cut out some Air Forces, sent us a picture. That'd be really amazing.
Just your toes sticking out the front.
So final one from me, man. You were the coach in Abu Dhabi. A guy that you coached on the undercard on the prelims that we ended up seeing it, but in a weird way. It finally came out officially, Wes Mina versus Awa Jashel. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the official footage, but if we could, wanted to show you it from their perspective, and just kind of talk through what you thought about that match. And then, realistically, as nice of a guy as Wes is, he is somebody that could climb the ranks and try to take your Air Forces from you one day, man.
Oh no, for sure. But I was excited for this match. This definitely went a completely different way than a lot of people expected.
But did it go a different way than you expected?
No. I mean, it didn't go exactly as I thought, but I definitely felt like Wes had an advantage, going up against someone brand new. It's just how it is in the sport. Experience really plays a role. And you can already tell just the way he measures up, like the way he's winding up for his slap, hits high. Yeah, kind of tell from there how it's going to go.
Wes actually commented, "I wore white Air Forces," and then
there they are.
It's
just funny. Well, you know what I'll say though, Awa had an aura about him in Abu Dhabi. I think you talk to a lot of people. He had this mystique to him, and I'll give Westman a lot of credit because he didn't let that sink into his head. Like the kind of the rumbling, man, always coming in, strong man, arm wrestler. Dude, the guy's got hands the size of, bigger than your face, but it never put a chink in his armor whatsoever. He never, skewed from the confidence that he had in his own ability.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like, that was also something that I was talking to him about in the back was like size and previous experience outside of slap fighting really doesn't play a role in this. Like, if you have experience specifically in slap fighting, you have that edge over your opponent every single time, just with being able to receive the hits alone.
Maybe I'm off on this, but something about his positioning seems weird to me. Like, I've never seen it before. The way his posture is, it's going to show you back because he gets a club here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he was too close. It just looked weird to me, and maybe I'm just tripping. So if you could, when it plays it back, if you could just tell us kind of what your thoughts were on his positioning as you see it from this angle, because I think it might have.
Yeah, I remember this specific hit. I went up there and I talked to him. I was like, bro, you are way too close. Like, step back a bit, measure out how you hit. It's those two simple things that you'll hit clean. Like, it's pretty simple to correct issues to correct immediately. And, he corrected it and shit worked out.
The White Air Forces lived on. Yeah, so I mean, he gets the club. What I will say is, and this, I've seen this clip, obviously, so I'm calling it before it happens. I think if West got a clubbing foul for what he did, you'll see this strike is just replayed. I don't know how Awa got away with the strike that he just did.
Honestly, I would have called both of those.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is I think if you look at his positioning of his hand, he doesn't have it straight like this. His is like curved like a chop.
Yeah.
It's not so egregious.
Here, like,
yeah. So look at it. Look at where it lands. I mean, that's massive.
Yeah,
that's very, very high. And the bottom of his hand makes contact, and then kind of like the rest of his hand adjusts. I don't know how that's. And they reviewed it. He stops the action. Kerry Hadley stops the action, reviews it, and this is good slap. I was blown away.
Yeah, that's what I talk about when I say there should be more consistency, because even in this match alone, there's no consistency between the fouls that they're calling.
Now, I feel like he's in the same exact position here. Am I losing it? I feel like Wes is standing in the same exact place and has equally as awkward as of a strike. Obviously, it does the damage.
He does that more like coming straight from the torso, like popping out with it, which I think they're trying to correct. But he is a little further back and just pointed his feet outwards more.
Okay.
Because if you look back, he's like standing like feet straight, just narrowed.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I wasn't losing it. So you're saying that he's not utilizing his full body. It's not he's kind of using his arm as an extension and letting it kind of do its own thing versus utilizing the momentum of his entire body as he turns.
Yeah. I mean, his opponent definitely could be a great power stop striker if he had like proper training and, gets those reps in the future. He'd definitely be a menace in the heavyweight division just from the looks of him. But, you got to be able to take shots, and you got to really focus on learning the technique. And, in a live event, I would hope that they would have called both of those strikes.
And you know what? I think probably because he's trying to avert fouls is probably why he does that, because he doesn't – if he uses that power generation from below, as it comes up, you may end up picking your foot up because of momentum. Whereas if he leaves his arm out there and kind of tries to operate as isolated as he can with his torso, his feet shouldn't be affected at all. But in doing that, I don't know that you knock every guy out that you hit with that.
Yeah.
Even those who have been knocked out before.
Yeah, it's just finding that balance of generating power without, pulling up any sort of penalties.
Well, look at his face, man. He's locked in. He's like, like this is his moment. I was extremely happy for him when we saw that nothing against Awa, of course, but just for him to be able to realize that after, what he felt like wasn't the universe behaving correctly in his second fight on the show.
It definitely worked out well for him for that, comeback match.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the chat saying that you're the worst coach that he's ever had and couldn't imagine. I'm just kidding. He's saying that you gave him great advice backstage. Yeah, I was trying to show up, but it was covering your face earlier. But he did say the White Air Force, so maybe maybe there might be something that we got to solve here.
Bro, don't turn this into a color beef, man. Come on. We're better than that. Come on.
You were animated after that, man. I mean, you're a pretty mellow guy. I always bug you, say your heart rate doesn't get over 60 beats per minute, but you were animated after that one. What did it mean to you to coach Wes through that?
Honestly, it was pretty exciting because Wes was he was very open to taking my advice and, went out there and really showed out with it, took it and morphed it into a great knockout. And, I don't want to take any credit away from him in that knockout, but, being able to give some advice and help him out and to hone in his technique and then see him perform like that immediately afterwards was just really exciting. It really makes you wonder if being a coach is worth it.
Awesome, man. One last one. Perfect world. What do you want next for you in your career?
Oh, who do I want to fight next? I made this obvious. Day one, Dorian rematch. I'd rematch him in Saudi Arabia if they let me. I want that rematch.
I don't know. The crazy Hawaiian says he wants a shot at you, my man.
I'll take him. Ooh. I'll take him right after Dumpling. I wanted to fight Crazy Hawaiian, but I don't want to do it until I feel like I've truly beaten Dorian, and I don't think I truly did in that fight. So I want that rematch before and looking anywhere else.
I mean, if they give you 6 months and they say that match is going to take place at a heavyweight match, potentially at a catch weight, let's say somewhere you got to come in around that 280, 300 pounds, would you ascertain that going up?
Oh, for sure.
Is it doable for you? Like, would you change much? Like, 'cause I think you're pretty well around that cap already, aren't you? 265.
No, I walk around at like 250, 255.
Okay, so you're less. Okay.
I get a couple extra Big Macs every once in a while, but a little eggnog, I'd be there.
Put the rocks in your shoes.
That was
Back.
good. What do you think of what do you make of Wes's comments here? Who do you think between the three of those guys, who do you think has the best shot at sort of rising to the top? Just right, with respect, right below you, of course, but between him, James Seekman, and Pono.
I think I don't know about who will be the best out of the three of them. I feel like they're all kind of I feel like him and Pono are kind of at the same level right now. James still needs that knockout to put him back up there and in the conversation with those three or those other two. But honestly, Pono knocking out Cooper, I think, puts him at the top of those three right now. And then I feel like Wes just needs to get a mid-level fight, if not a higher-ranking guy fight, to really push him up further in the rankings as well. Because, I mean, he did have a great knockout, but it was against a guy that had never fought in power stat before. There's definitely levels to this shit. So I want him to, get those levels, get that experience, make sure he has his reps in before he starts, making his way to the top.
And Bryce Jones says, "Don't forget about me. I'm coming too."
Everyone's invited to the picnic, man. It's gonna hurt.
But not everybody's eating. Everybody's invited to the picnic, but it's gonna hurt. That's going on a quote graphic. QF3, let's go.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's gonna hurt.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
No problem at all.
Buddy, take care, man. Happy holidays to you. All right, take care, buddy.
Yes,
see ya. Bye. All right, Ding. Brittany, go over to you. Your first tape show on Slap News. Obviously, we're still live. What do you think of the guys so far, the interaction?
Everyone in this sport I love everyone's energy. I love how almost cocky everyone is. I will say, I'm a female, coming from that side of the house, usually girls, are a little more subdued, but everyone's like, I'm going to kick their ass. And I love the energy. So it'll be really fun to see what happens. And I feel very fortunate that I'll be able to interview them because now I'm taking notes. Now I'm going to remember what they said. And so I know who has a picture of who they want to knock out. So it'll be fun, but yeah, I love the energy. It's a really unique time to be involved with the sport, because I can see how it's growing, hearing from the athletes just now about how their social's growing, they're taking it into their own hands. They're obviously all really passionate about it, which is, to me, that's the most important aspect. If you're passionate about your sport, you're going to help it grow. You're going to stick with it. You're going to do big things.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to have some self-confidence and self-belief, or else why else are you doing this? And, it's quite interesting. I mean, it's a very positive atmosphere. One thing that's very unique, obviously, as you were able to see when we were there at the live, the camaraderie that the athletes have, the respect that they have amongst each other. And, we even have athletes, that are competing the next day are there talking to each other, the night before the sport, which is kind of very unique and different. I would say it's almost more of like a strongman camaraderie in some ways than it is more of a UFC MMA, where, a lot of these strongmen, they eat lunch together, they drink beer afterwards. And there's really not there. I guess there's maybe talk to me about that and give me some insight to it, because it's like you're friends and you're there. You want to obviously place, but it's different.
Yeah, Corey, it's really funny that you say that about strongman, because I've done a couple different sports throughout my life, and there's no camaraderie that is better than strongman. And I saw that right after the first event. A slap fight. I saw that. Like, I saw everyone talking. Parents were getting to know other parents, even though their, children were literally going to be slapping each other. I feel, this is my opinion, that, strongman, it's a tough sport. You're literally putting yourself out there to get injured, going to get a bloody nose, going to hurt your back. It's inevitable. Same thing with this sport. You're going up there to get slapped. So I think that the competitors have utmost respect for one another for just the amount of guts and grit it takes to just stand up there knowing what could happen, you know. And it's really cool that there's a coin toss aspect to it, you know, because that even puts more up in the air. It's not who's better. It's, you know, it's like who's gonna, maybe there's a little bit of luck on it. So I feel that adds to the camaraderie of it. But yeah, it was really beautiful to see. And I feel really lucky that I get to follow all the athletes and get to know them on such a personal level, because as the sport evolves, you know, these are the, you know, it was only the 10th event. So this is really the beginning of it.
Of course. We actually seen something interesting that kind of will dovetail, and maybe you can give more insight than I know into this than I can. But since the event, we've seen a new sponsorship kind of come in regards to smelling salts. So I've never used them. I've only ever seen the interactions. Your first thoughts, is there a benefit to using smelling salts in slap fighting?
Yes. I was so happy to see that, because that was one of the first things I thought of when I had been recruited for it about a year ago. I was like, I'm going to go back to the good old fashioned ammonia. Ammonia, what it's used for is literally if someone's knocked out, to wake them up. So if you use that when you're in a state where you already are alert, it is gonna like hype you up. It is like the most focused, you know, you get a dopamine rush, norepinephrine, everything's going, and you are just ready. Like it wakes you up. So I do think that it's going to be an advantage. I believe that there is a smart way to use it. You don't want to be using it all the time, because kind of like caffeine, you know, it's a performance enhancer. If you use it correctly in terms of waking you up, feeling good, same thing with ammonia. If you overuse it, then you're going to continue to need more and more. So my best advice, and competitors take this with a grain of salt, I wouldn't use it every time you're training. Save it for when you really need it.
Awesome. How long does it last? I mean, if you were to take it, you know, right up there before you go on stage, how long is it going to give you that mental, like, you know, awareness? Will it last 5-10 minutes till your match is done, or is it almost instantaneous?
It's instantaneous. You know, you take a big hit, you feel it, you really feel the effects of it within the first 2 seconds, but then you're still alert, I would say, for about a minute or so, but it doesn't have like a fade out period. Corey, I feel like I just need to come to Canada, and we need to have like a deadlift session. So you need to try it. Can you try it before the end of the year for me, please?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get on this longevity kick. I'm not sure sniffing ammonia is in my plan right now.
Once in a while won't kill you. Everything in moderation, right?
Okay.
Do you think we could have? I mean, I know, Brittany, you alluded to like it does have a performance enhancing element. I'm sure you're not saying that it's going to turn you into the Incredible Hulk, but could you see any particular reason that the promotion might ban it? Because Corey, correct me if I'm not mistaken, this was a sponsor of an athlete, not of the organization.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah,
do you think the organization could ban it at any point?
No, and I should have used my words more carefully. I should have said that. I just meant I was comparing it to caffeine, in the sense of it helping, because it's not something that is going to give you that much of an edge. But you know, when you're a competitor, any little bit is going to help, you know, so whether that be you're practicing more before you go on stage, you are, you know, manifesting, as some of the competitors talked about, or, you know, listening to the music that's going to, in a calm state. For some people, it's going to work awesome. For some people, it's not. You got to try it. I guess I would say never try something for the first time when you're in the arena. Try it at practice. But with that said, you don't want to use it all the time. So it's going to be kind of something just going to play with.
Imagine somebody walking on stage having just tried it for the first time.
No, I can't.
Freaking out.
I actually used it for my first time, like a dumbass, when I was back in 2014 at a show, a strongman show before card deadlift. And there's a video of me on YouTube passing out after, not remembering anything, but I got the rep. So I guess in my head it helped, but it was one of those things. Like, here's a funny story, then I'll be quiet about it. My mom one time was so mad. She saw me on social media sniffing ammonia. She texted me, you know, I don't want you doing that. That's going to not be good for you, blah, blah. And she's like, where are you right now? Are you home? And I texted her back. I go, no, Mom, I'm out with friends sniffing ammonia. So
ammonia as in like what people use to knock people out? Like,
it's the smelling salts. Yeah, it's the sponsor that they had. There's a couple different brands out there, but they're all essentially the same thing. It's ammonia.
Yeah, I think the one that we saw was Pegasus. Listen, we're not against smelling salts here. If somebody wants to throw some sponsorships, we're not opposed to smelling salts.
I think you'll be the only one smelling them, Dave. How's that?
Dude, I'll be out here all day with my glasses. You won't even be able to tell.
Yeah, so so just to kind of look up real quick, it doesn't seem like it's banned. However, it's not something that is currently carried in the first aid kits for cornermen in the UFC. Not sure where the athletic commission stands on it. Probably not likely they'd be able to do it before going on stage. But I mean, who knows as time kind of goes on. Brittany, I got to tell you though, I'm going to change gears here a little bit. We usually get a little bit squirrely at the end of the show. We'll see if Ding, did you do your prep you were supposed to do?
I did not do my prep, but I'm ready to get squirrely. I actually had I before we get too squirrely, I actually want to ask Brittany. So I've messed around with like ammonia inhalants from a medical perspective. So like for people who pass out while they're getting their blood drawn, and you break it and it's red, and it's like it is the most absurd sensation I've ever experienced in my entire life, with the exception of bear mace or OC spray. Is it the same thing? Because that did not feel good. Like that, no. I smelled it and I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been around bear mace or anything like that. Just ammonia. But there's two different kinds. Like when my strongman clients ask me like which ones to do, there is a capsule that you just break, and then there's the straight ammonia in a little, usually I think it's like a 3-ounce jar. I preferred the capsules because it wasn't as intense, because again, I had that kind of traumatizing experience of when I used, like I was young, I was competing at nationals in strongman for the first time. So I was like, sure, can it give me an edge? I'll try it. And then, I ended up passing out. I'll have to show you the YouTube video because it's pretty funny, because my friend put an edit over it after of like the "let me take a selfie" song, because I was literally crying. I go, I don't remember what happened, but I got reps, and I'm like just being dramatic. I'm like a 19-year-old then. So yeah, but maybe I guess you're just gonna try it to see for yourself. But start with the capsule; it's not as intense.
All right, so it's Brittany Diamond approved.
Yeah.
We're all gonna try it when we get together next time. Is that a deal?
Yeah, I'm in.
3 of us.
I was going to tell you, Ding, I hate to say it, Ding's an asshole. He's going to let you struggle, but he'll be your lifeline because I know you're new to it. But if you haven't watched to the end of any of our Smack Talks, we like to have a little fun. We, we're super into sports cards. So I'm going to show you a sports card. So this one here is tough to beat a worm from the dirt. So I don't know if you can see it very well. This green screen kills me sometimes.
Yeah, I can kind of see. Yeah, right there is better. Okay.
So there we go. So what power slap striker does this remind you of?
A pink worm.
Oh my God, a pink worm.
I mean, it's very small. It's kind of like adorable. I'm going to say Michael Brown.
Go first. Let Brittany go first.
I'm saying Michael Brown.
Go first.
So they're small. So the later weight classes, pink. Are they bald? Like, are you allowed?
Yeah, you can assimilate it however you like. Yeah.
I mean, hey, like, yeah. If you
think I'm gonna use a lifeline until I have a better relationship with these people, because watch me. Yeah.
I'm saying Michael Brown. Right. Michael Michelle Brown. Yeah.
Right. Tenacious Turkey.
Oh, a turkey.
That one I might have lost for a turkey.
Tenacious Turkey.
I feel like that I feel like. I want to, off the bat, I feel like a turkey, I don't know why, reminds me of someone that's on the Hawaiian side, just because they're so big and broad.
I'm going to say that. Pono.
I think Pono's a tenacious
Pono,
turkey?
because tenacity is like, he had the grip score. You understand?
I think Vince Tracy.
That's not bad.
Fellow Canadian, I think.
Well, yeah, all Canadians are turkeys.
All right. The Honest Honeybee.
I don't know if I can get away with calling a male a honeybee.
Well, you can try or deal with them in the DMs later.
Bryce Jones.
Brittany, any takers? Have you seen any honeybees last week? No? All right, Jeeves. Not going there?
Jeeves is the honeybee.
I need to do one more event, like I said, so these people don't hate me off the bat. Kick me off.
That one's getting completely messed up. Put your hand behind it.
Well, it's a green slug. That's probably why.
Oh, it's a slug. It looks like cookie.
It's a slug. It's a slaying slug. Whatever I do is not going to work on this one.
A slug?
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of fucked up. You get Bryce is in chat laughing. I called him a honeybee. I'm in trouble. A slug?
What else we got? All right, then how about the likable leopard? If we did this one last week or not.
Who's Pono? That's Pono then, because everybody loves Pono. He's
Yeah,
lovely.
that I could see that one because that's the only good one so far. That's like a cute, nice, friendly one.
Yeah, that's Pono. Till he's got to
Yeah,
slap you.
he has a good friendly vibe.
Till he's got to slap you.
What about a gecko? Oh, he's green as well. I can't do the green ones. I keep
This is so funny.
the rational rattlesnake. Do we have a rational rattlesnake out
A
there?
rational rattlesnake. Who's risk averse?
Rational
Dakota McGregor.
snake.
You think so?
Dakota McGregor is a very rational being. He's very nice. Joshua Bavere didn't end up showing up for their fight. He was very kind about it after he got his original thoughts out. Like, very nice guy.
Awesome. There we go, Brittany. How was your first show? You gonna come back
Wait,
again?
hold
or
on, I
just-
got
Yeah,
one.
I had so much fun. I love talking to athletes and hearing their
Where's
perspectives.
mine?
So
Here's mine.
yeah, it was fun.
Who does that remind you of, Brittany? Come on.
I can't even see that one. The medal.
Yeah.
Still
Any better?
can't see it.
I can see it. I don't just like the pose they're doing.
No, who is it? I gave you a hint. It's on screen.
Oh, Vince. No,
No.
that's not.
The name above it.
Oh, Anthony. Okay.
And
You know what's funny?
you know who
Because
this is. Come
he's
on.
smiling. He's smiling in the
You know who
picture.
this is.
I don't. You're gonna give me more hints because now I'm just embarrassed. This reminds me of
No, you
something I was
shouldn't be
talking about
embarrassed.
earlier. Yeah. Oh yeah, Paige. Okay. It's gonna
All
be like, do you remember the elementary schools when we
Okay,
had like a list of faces and then a list of names? I have to
Yeah.
like crisscross them.
No, you got to get to know everybody. It's all good.
Yeah.
But I know for sure you know who this guy is.
Yeah, Dana, of course.
Okay,
I
alright.
thought it was cool to see. It was cool. It was so funny because everyone was like freaking out when he was like over there, and I was like, cool. Like I live in Vegas. I always see people. I've seen Dana before when he's
Yeah, I go to lunch
gambling.
with Dana every Wednesday. Didn't you know? Well, hopefully you have fun and you see that we are absolutely out of our minds.
No, I love it. You guys are awesome. I absolutely love it.
By the way,
I can't wait to do ammonia together.
I didn't always wear the glasses. That's a newer thing, but yeah, it's part of my new shtick.
They're a big hit.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. We appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Ding. Once again, you know it's going down every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. in the East. Smack Talk. Next week, it's Christmas. We don't fully have it ironed out. We're going to give you something special coming that week. Stay tuned to Instagram for that release, and look forward to always happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I'm sure I'm missing a couple other
Happy
ones,
Kwanzaa.
but exactly.
Kwanzaa,
Whatever
we
you
love you.
do it well, and we'll just keep on coming back to you every single week. Until next time, take care and enjoy the holidays where you can, and get off the screen a little bit. Take care, guys.